Hello everyone, this is going to be my oil pan replacement and valve cover gasket replacement on my 2009 Dodge Avenger with a 2.4. This should apply to pretty much any engine any vehicle that uses this same 2.4 engine, but this is in my Avenger. I went ahead and drained the oil last night, so it's been draining and dripping all night, so when I take the oil pan off I shouldn't have any more drips. But let's get down underneath and start to get the oil pan off. But I did want to say that to do this you do have to take the belt off, because you do have to take loose the air compressor mount, because that does mount on the oil pan. But let's get up underneath and let's get started. Alright, we're up under the vehicle. It's got one 12mm bolt right here, and looks like the rest of them might be 13. But let's get to going. Let's go ahead and get that 12mm. Let's go ahead and get that 12mm out of the way. I'll look on that side, make sure it doesn't have anything. Now we're moving. On second thought, okay, I'm just seeing something. Let me tighten this back up, see if I'm right. If I had paid attention a little bit more. Let me put this one back in. I just saw something that doesn't look like you actually have to take off the belt. I did, because I didn't look close enough beforehand. Let me go ahead and tighten this one back up, and then I'll go ahead and take off that other bolt. There we go. And now this one right here. Yep, there it is. This bolt, you don't have to take off the belt. There. Yeah. You don't have to take off that. You don't have to take off the belt. It's just 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's the 3 on there, and then the 4th one going in the side, going in this right here. And then you don't have to take off the compressor or move it out of the way. I think that's going to be a 12. Yeah. There's a couple of big bolts in the pan itself. Those are 12mm. The ones going to the compressor, and this one going that way into that bracket, and the ones going holding the bracket onto the motor itself are 13mm. And looks like the rest of them are 3/8. Yes, the rest of them 3/8. Getting flatheaded in the corner. Just prying it back. There it goes. Yeah, this is definitely good for replacement. There we go. And there we are. Still got a few drips. Not bad. This gasket material cleaned off. Looks like they just used silicone. The gasket I'm replacing with is actually cork. I don't know if this is factory or not, but I'm going to get all this cleaned up. Well, I had a rag. There it is. I'm going to wipe off some of these drips over here, down under here, so I don't have to worry about them. And then I'm going to get my phone under here so I can show you what it looks like. Alright, here we go. This is what it looks like up underneath. And let's look up inside there. There's the timing chain up in there. I think this is just for the oil pump drive, but it feels good. I don't feel any slack in it, so it's good. I don't change my oil like I'm supposed to, so some of this might be a little bit of gunk in here. It's not too bad. It's still fairly clean. But let's get the oil pump out. Not oil pump. Oil pan out, and I'll go ahead and get the oil filter off and draining, and then get the gasket surface cleaned off, and then I'll see y'all once I'm ready to put this back in, and I'll see y'all in a second. Alright, here's the old pan sitting next to the new pan, and you can definitely see how far it's been dented in by comparing it to the new one. But it's all the same shape, feels about the same weight, same thickness, so it's good. So let's get the surface cleaned up on the motor and get this new pan mounted up. Alright, the oil pan up under here, the gasket on. Usually these cork gaskets have a little bit small holes to help you hold it center, but this one does not, so it's going to be a little bit annoying to put it back on. Got a cheap pan, and I can already see an area that I'm gonna have to do my bench grinder because it's hitting my compressor. The factory pan did not have this lip right here, and the aftermarket does, so I'm gonna have to shave that off flat so it doesn't hit my compressor, but it's hitting my compressor, so I can't get one of the bolts in. Again. Yep, try to get it in, and it's right there next to it. Might be able to get away with it, but I think I need to, yeah, I need to shave it on my bench grinder. I got a cheap pan. It's what happens when you get cheap parts. I might have to, especially oil pans, stuff like that, I'm going to have to modify it a little bit. Not too bad, it's just got to modify it a little bit. Alright, I'm back. Got that corner ground down, so it should fit no problems now. If I'd paid for one of the more expensive oil pans, I might not have had that issue. There you are. There we go. Now I have plenty of clearance. I am missing a bolt. Gotta see where that thing fell. It's in it right there. I think I know which size it is. Alright, I did not lose a bolt. This new pan has a extra hole for a hole that's not used on that factory pan, or what I believe is a factory pan. And the hole does not go inside the engine. It is just a through hole to the outside. So I'm not going to worry about that. I just need to get my belt back on. I got the new filter on. Now we can now I can get the belt back on and drop it down to do the valve cover gasket. And I'll see y'all then. All right, car is back down on the ground. Thought I had the belt on all the way, but I do need to fix that a little bit. Belt's a little bit off center right there, but I can get it. To lift off this cover, you just pull up on the front and back, and it lifts off. One of mine stays on here, and the other three have to unscrew. But set that off to the side. And you take these off; they just unscrew. And these are your coil on plug right here. I'm going to unplug these to get the wires out of the way. And this is a T30 Torx to remove the one screw holding them in. All right, and there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the screws for the valve cover itself are 8mm. All right, that is it. Valve cover. That's the PCV valve right here, I think. Oh, got one more. I got another one more. Definitely all of them. go. It's just stuck to the head really good. There we go. Valve cover, there's the timing chain and top of the motor. I'm gonna have to clean up those seals, the sealing surface, and get all the old gasket off. Shouldn't be too hard. Oh yeah. This was just stuck to the head really good. It's probably never been off. I had one bolt fall out, but I heard it hit the ground. So that's a good thing. Alright, I'm going to stop this so I can get the rest of the old gasket off of the spark plug tubes, and be back in a second. Before I turn the video off, wipe my hands off and feel my timing chain. I guess that's about normal, considering the mileage that's on here, but I don't think that movement right there is too bad at all. But there it is, and let me stop it so I can get everything cleaned up, and I'll see you in a second. Alright, well, I got the gasket on the new gaskets on the valve cover, and the surfaces cleaned up on the motor, and got them in here. And the way this actually goes in is actually interesting. These through the valve cover bolts are in a sleeve, and that sleeve has a lip on it, and that lip pushes over the gasket and locks it in place. That's on all of them. That's very cool. That means when you have it upside down, none of the bolts fall out. But let's get this set back on. I'm not going to worry about cleaning the valve cover because my motor's not pretty. It's not a showpiece, so if you're doing it to your car, you can take the time to clean it, but I'm just didn't worry about that with mine. I unplugged a couple of things on this side. Actually, just one thing. It's something on the back, but I got that plugged back up. I think all that's left, put these back in. And once again with the T30 port. I was taking this hose off, a little bit of it on the end tore off, so I'm gonna have to trim it a little bit. All right, there's that. And that's it. Make sure I got everything. Oh yeah. Got, there we go. Nothing's pinched. Everything's plugged back up. Putting that stud right here back in place. It all lines up good. And that's that. I just need to get my belt tool back on here so I can straighten up that crooked belt a little bit, but that's it. Oil pan gasket replaced and valve cover gasket. Oil pan replaced with the oil pan gasket, and then the valve cover gasket. But well, there it is. There's my valve cover gasket replacement and oil pan replacement on my 2009 Dodge Avenger with a 2.4. It's not really a hard job. It's just dirty because you're up under the motor, removing the oil pan, but it's not really too hard of a job. But if you like my video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because I love to read people's comments. And if you like muscle cars, like my Charger here, or my truck out at the street right there, check out my other videos. Got all kinds of stuff on those. So that's it, and I'll see you later.